Every single guy who's trying to improve himself wants to get bigger arms so that he can become more attractive. And I was exactly the same. But I struggled with small arms for a long time. But luckily, I'm about to show your ass how to actually fix it, okay? Because you could see here, throughout my lifting career, on the left, I started with super skinny anorexic arms. But then I started to gain weight and I started to build muscle and my body got bigger. But for some reason, my arms didn't get bigger. They still looked skinny. But then I fixed it. As you can see, these last two pictures, I'm going to show you how to achieve this yourself and how to present yourself so your arms look bigger as well. So firstly, we have to understand that arms are simply important as fuck. Big biceps, and that's what I'm talking about specifically, big biceps, are one of the most attractive traits in a man. And you've probably seen this trend yourself popping up everywhere on Instagram, social media, TikTok, you know what I mean? It's girls biting biceps. They're taking videos of their boyfriends and then biting their biceps and obsessing over biceps. And that just proves that they are so attractive. Big biceps are literally one of the most attractive traits in a man, according to women. And that's why I categorize the biceps as part of the gaze muscle groups. And if you're not familiar with this channel, the gaze muscle groups are a set of muscles that you can work out more than others and optimize for to achieve the female gaze physique, which is an attractive physique that will get you female attention. And after all, that is what we want as guys. If we're starting the gym and we're trying to improve ourselves, we want to get laid, okay? And aside from them being important as pure attraction muscles, big biceps also signal status and also signal if you're actually in shape and have strength as a masculine guy, okay? The size of your arms is visible in almost every situation you're in. So if you have small arms, you're going to be insecure and you're not going to feel as peak and as strong as you should be, okay? You can see here in school, in going out, in date scenarios, every single time you're wearing a short sleeve, your arms are visible. And in most cases, even when you're wearing a long sleeve, you can still make out the shape of someone's arms. So we do not want to have small arms. Now, the problem, the common issue that most guys are having is they're getting into the gym. They want to grow big arms specifically. They want to grow everything else. But the thing they want the most, which is big, bulky arms, isn't actually happening. Their body is getting bigger, and this was happening to me. Their chest was growing, their back was growing, their shoulders were growing, but their arms were still flat and skinny. This is due to a bunch of different reasons, which I'm going to fix, but you first have to understand that if you're on the taller side, which was the case for me, it's just going to be harder. Being taller, it's going to mean you're going to have to fill out longer limbs, and this is the same as with legs. But the good thing is, once you fill them out, you're going to look so much better than if you were shorter. But the reason as to why your arms aren't big and why you haven't grown them despite being in the gym is simply because of a few reasons, which are going to break down now inside of the solution. Now, the first and the key thing that I would say is the number one mistake guys are making is intensity and volume mistake, okay? Most guys are running a split that trains arms at the end of their workout. So imagine you're doing an upper-lower split, a push-pull leg split, even a full body split. Most of these workouts don't even let you train arms, or they let you train arms at the end, okay? So you only hit them for a few half-ass sets at the end of your workout after you've done your compound lifts and after you're completely fatigued, after your pre-workout has worn off, after you just want to go home, fucking eat your pre-workout, post-workout meal and go to bed, okay? You can see here a perfect example of that. Upper-lower split, there's only one day here that has a true arm focus, and it's at the end. And another thing that guys are doing wrong is they're just doing high reps. They're doing low volume with high reps, and it's not going to do much at all because you're not applying progressive overload, you're not applying the correct stimulus and trying to get stronger on them, especially if you're positioning them at the end of your workouts. So if they're just like any other muscle, how the fuck are they supposed to grow if you're not training hard and training effectively and efficiently, okay? So the solution here to fix this, and what I did myself, is to start positioning your arm workouts and your arm exercises closer to the start of your workout. Treat them almost like compound lifts or more important lifts so that you actually have more energy to give and you can progressively overload and get stronger and load more, okay? Also, start doing heavy sets with lower reps instead of just light and high rep sets. Because if you're trying to get stronger on anything, it is much more measurable and easier to get stronger on it with lower reps. Treat biceps, treat arms the same. That is the key thing that I did, and it actually helped me blow up my arms. Now, inside of the gym, this was done through doing different exercises. Guys are doing too many varying exercises, a bunch of random bullshit that's not even working for them. So I'm gonna run you through the best bicep builders for me. Again, I'm talking about biceps in this video. I'll make another video about triceps, but biceps are just super attractive and super important. And so many guys hear the 2/3 of the arm is made up of triceps, so they completely ignore biceps, thinking it's not useful, but I would say it's more useful than triceps, okay? So what I did inside of the gym, I did weighted pull-ups and I got super strong with extra weight. And that's because it adds extra stimulus to the biceps and forearms. So you may be sitting here thinking that, oh, weighted pull-ups and chin-ups aren't a bicep exercise. Well, they're not, but they are, because they will add an incredible amount of stimulus, because you're able to include your lats in the exercise as well, which are a massive back muscle, but also you're getting a crazy amount of stimulus and neural capacity improvement into your biceps as well, because you're lifting your body plus weight. And if you don't believe me as to why this is a great bicep builder, just look at gymnasts. They are constantly doing weighted pull-up movements. They're constantly doing movements that involve pulling, that involve the biceps, and they have massive ass biceps. So we can take something from their book and include weighted pull-ups as an exercise to get an incredible amount of stimulus onto the biceps. And that's because for most of you guys, you're going to be used to doing the 10 kilo dumbbells. But if you're doing plates and plates of your body weight as well and pulling it up, yeah, you're going to use your lats, but you're also going to be getting crazy bicep stimulus and growth. The next thing I did inside the gym was heavy barbell bicep curls. Not this random bullshit, not this random upside down cable curl variation I saw on TikTok. No, the straight classic barbell lift. They will get you the biggest bang for your buck, the best results, okay? And what I did specifically was I went heavy on these and I started doing low reps. Before your brain explodes, you don't have to do high reps all the time on biceps and on smaller muscle groups like the shoulders as well, okay? You can go heavy, and it's when we go heavy, we can measure our progress more and we can get stronger more efficiently. So I would do 2 to 3 sets of 5 to 8 on a heavy barbell bicep curl, curling like almost 20 kilos on each side. And you can swing a little bit, but what's going to happen is you are getting so much overload onto this, and therefore you're going to build strength and size as a result. And then for more of the isolation aspect, for more of the lighter work, what I would do is a single arm cable curl with a neutral grip or a supinated grip, okay? High rep sets here, but you really want to train to failure, okay? I still do most exercises to failure. That's because it gives you a crazy pump. Now, if you want to improve the size of your biceps, a key tip here is to improve the brachialis, which is basically the muscle that will help to push your biceps out wider and make them look bigger overall and add width to your arm. Because I had problems with having a skinny as fuck arm, but when you do weighted pull-ups, and when you do these neutral grip single arm cable curls, you're training not only the bicep, but also the forearm and the brachialis. So you're getting an incredible stimulus, and it's going to grow everything and push your bicep out and make it look larger overall. So I would do these 3 exercises, no more, no less. This is all you need to build big arms, okay? Obviously you pair this with all your other exercises. You don't want to be stupid, but this is the fundamental thing, okay? One other thing that you can do is carving for the aesthetic illusion, okay? Getting leaner simply made my arms bigger relative to the body, okay? When you shrink your waist and when you shrink your midsection, your arms will just have more of a contrast and they will look bigger, okay? And the beautiful thing here is most guys don't tend to carry a lot of fat on their arms, so you won't lose much size. You can go through a cut and your arms, well, for me personally, they don't shrink that much, whereas my waist and stuff will shrink significantly. And also, building your shoulder size will increase the separation and make your arms look more impressive. So when you get leaner and when you build more of cap belts, it creates more of a separation and more of an aesthetic look that actually makes the illusion that your arms are bigger. That's exactly what I did. Like, my arms did not grow that much. They did, but there were many different tricks and tips that I used, like getting leaner and building my shoulders and building the muscles around and creating more of a contrast visually. That's how I was able to have the illusion of bigger arms, okay? And one final thing that I would tell you, which no one really talks about, is how to package yourself, how to actually use the cheat codes in real life to look like you have bigger arms, okay? You can see right here the way I'm dressing. Simple as this. If you want to have bigger arms, if you want to look like you have bigger arms, or at least show off the arms that you've built, no more baggy shirts or shirts that go over the mid portion of the arm, okay? Because even if you have bigger arms, I see a lot of guys down the street who have massive arms, but they're wearing these baggy oversized shirts, and when your arm does not fill the sleeve, it gives the perception of you having smaller arms, even though your arms might be ginormous, okay? So you should be leveraging your presentation to look as strong and as in shape as possible. And you can do this by making your arms bigger by wearing certain types of shirts. And I would recommend doing what I'm doing right here in this image. I'm wearing a slim fit shirt, and specifically I'm wearing a slim fit shirt that has an elastic or a tight fitting arm. And where it actually attaches, where it actually meets me like on the arm and where it molds to my arm is right at the shoulder and arm separation. Okay, that's where you want the fit to be. You don't want it too far down. Like you can see here, it's all the way down right near my elbow, but here there's so much space and it's right in between, like right below my shoulder, where if you develop it and get leaner, like I said, for that cheat code, you can get that cap and then it contours down and then it pops back out again and you have this massive ass arm effect. Okay, that's how you make yourself look like you have bigger arms. So what you do is you combine the exercises, you stop being a bitch in the gym and you actually focus on the correct things, you keep it simple, and then you use the gains that you have made inside the gym and you package it correctly to emphasize the shape and the size of your arms. Okay, once I did this, that's how I got complimented every single time I go out for the size of my arms. Got people asking me how much I bench, girls being attracted to me, girls asking for my number just because of having big arms. It is that fucking important. Okay, now so many guys are making the mistake of not doing these things, not leveraging everything in their power to be as attractive as possible, and that is why I made my community, which you can check out in the link below. It'll teach you how to build the female gaze physique and actually get attraction in the real world. But other than that, I hope this video has helped. Remember that progress is purpose, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.